Welcome, everyone, to another exciting night with the Two Men in a Room podcast. It is Thursday, November 21st, 2023. Actually, November 23rd. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If you're watching us live, thank you for being on here. I will be checking comments through the show and responding, so feel free to leave those. Like and share. Follow us on Rumble also. I'm your host, Anthony from Orlando, and my co-host.
I'm also from Orlando. My name is Vernell James, and Anthony and I have a wonderful show for you tonight on this beautiful Thanksgiving. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I believe Anthony came up with some exciting topics for everyone. We did a little research on some topics. So, Anthony, let's just get right on into it. What you got going on today besides being the angriest man in Orlando?
Well, thank you for that promo. So we spoke about this last show. We were going to do some research into the accusations that were coming up on P. Diddy for my former girlfriend, Cassie. Well, before we could even start digging into it, it wrapped up really quickly. So there was a settlement between the two parties, and the case has officially been dismissed. But there were some crazy accusations thrown out there. I don't know if you've heard of any, but these are what I've heard. That one, Diddy was actually upset that Wiz Khalifa had started talking to Cassie and was trying to get with her, and threw out that he might be able to blow up Wiz Khalifa's car. Now, there was a fire in Wiz Khalifa's car. Don't know if there was a connection there or not. Nothing really got investigated. So it's an accusation at best right now. There were other accusations that Cassie was tormented and forced to sleep with male prostitutes, those who P. Diddy would personally choose to sleep with her. There's another accusation that was thrown out there that the two of them in 2018 were trying to talk once again. They went on a date ended. He brought her to her apartment, and when she told him that she wanted him to leave and she didn't really want anything to do with him, he forced himself into the apartment and sexually abused her. And as this is on YouTube, he raped her. So those are the accusations that were thrown out from what people read in the report. The report was never, the lawsuit, I should say, was never actually put out because it was settled so quickly. So we're not quite sure what was in it. Okay. Those are some pretty harsh accusations. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, okay. So they was together back in, you say 20, they was together in 2016, correct?
They had a pretty long relationship from about, I think it was 2010-ish or so to 2018. May have been a little earlier, but they were together for a while. So, take that for what it was, I guess.
Okay, so then they broke up and then they got back together?
Well, I guess it separated.
They separated and then they tried to get another twirl.
Well, from the way it reads, this is my interpretation. Diddy always wanted to be with her, so he was always trying to get with her. So they, you could say separation, but were they really separated? No. He was always trying to get with her. He was always trying to be around her, have her around. So I like the word you always use. He was controlling her. That fits that definition very well. He was controlling her. He made sure she was where he wanted her to be all the damn time, without regard for her opinion, I'll add. So that would be a level of control.
Okay, so now that you mentioned that,
right.
Now you see that controlling, you see where it got him or landed him in court, allegedly paying a healthy fine to her because of what's supposed to happen between the both of them. So you can't be controlling because eventually,
Okay.
in a relationship, things gonna go north. Okay.
Pump the brakes here.
What you mean pump the brakes? Because
there's an accusation.
Okay, but
This is
still.
control. This is when you are getting male prostitutes to go sleep with your girlfriend. That's a level of control I don't condone.
Right.
So,
and I hope no one condones it.
That is control.
Right.
That
and
is
I hope
unbelievable
no one
control.
Condone that.
Right.
But okay, with the Wiz Khalifa, allegedly. Yes. So was Diddy and Wiz Khalifa was friends once upon a time?
That I don't know because
if they wasn't friends and then, I can see if they was friends for a while.
Cassie was trying to build her music career at that time.
Okay,
so, she could have been seen with Wiz, and supposedly he was trying to get with her.
Okay, because this story could go all kind of ways, in my opinion.
Right.
It could go all kind of ways because if Diddy and Wiz was never friends, then that's on her. But if they were friends for a while, then he shouldn't go behind Diddy to get his girlfriend or his ex, or they were separated, whatever they got going on in their little life or whatever. That's why I don't get into the celebrity stuff, because they have too much going on for me. Maybe because they feel like they got the money, they could go through, do whatever they got going on. I'm not saying all celebrities, but, a great bit of them. But, I'm not a Diddy fan. I never was a Diddy fan. So Wiz Khalifa, I know who he is, but I don't know of him because I don't follow him. I don't listen to his music. So,
well, it's funny for Diddy to say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go blow up his car," and then suddenly something happens to his car. Little suspect there. Little sus.
No, right? Because anybody would think that he had something to do with it, right?
Right.
Because if it come out your mouth and then allegedly it happened, then they just gonna point the finger at you because you just said this or whatever. Maybe it was just a fan to that's a Diddy fan and maybe did it because Diddy just announced it. I don't know, but it's just the whole situation just crazy to me. But hopefully, like you say, it went to court. Everything is hush hush now because it was a nice little check written out to her, and hopefully it die out, or the state attorneys could pick up the charges and still pursue and go after him. So I don't think it's quite over with because the money situation is still going to be different for what the court want to do or whatever.
If he's paying her off, he's paying the state attorneys off too.
I don't think you can pay the state attorneys off. I just don't think so.
You certainly can pay the state attorneys off.
Because if that's the case, why Bill Cosby ain't pay the state attorneys off?
Because Bill Cosby ain't got the money he's got.
Bill Cosby ain't broke either now. Don't get it twisted. Now, Diddy is a billionaire. I give him that.
Okay.
And I have nothing against him, Wiz, and her, and all that. But I just don't think they that powerful to pay someone off. Unless you got some rookies at the state attorneys that just
there's a lot of power and influence around there.
And it is, I give you that. But I'm just saying, we just got to continue to follow the story and see what happens at the end. But at the end of the day, she happy. She got a nice check. Gone. Well, I heard allegedly it was like $100 million.
Okay, but I don't think she's happy.
Why
nobody's happy going. Nobody's happy going through that kind of a relationship.
Right. And that's true. But what took her so long to come out instead of doing it at the time that it happened?
That I don't know, because around that time it was the Me Too movement and a lot of women were coming out stating, but I just think P. Diddy is not what's his name? Oh, I just had his name. Walkowitz? No. who was that producer who got accused by all those women?
Talk about
That's not the same level. Diddy is a huge presence. I would say right up there with Jay-Z, Clive Owens, uh, probably the heads of most of the record companies. He's got a lot of pull. He's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of influence.
Right. But
So
sometimes the castle have to come crumbling down at some point in life, because you can't outdo everybody because you got money or you're a mogul or a superstar, whatever you want to consider yourself. You just it gonna come crumbling down at some point. You can't get away with everything. Now, a lot, yes, they do. I give them that because of the celebrity status. But at the end of the day, their house could crumble down just like everybody else.
right. But I mean, take another famous sex case that happened right around the same time, the Jeffrey Epstein case. Why was he never brought out until what, a couple of years ago?
And who you talking about?
Jeffrey Epstein.
I do not know who that is.
Everybody knows who Jeffrey Epstein is. The Island,
I
the
don't
young
know.
girls.
I just don't know.
Okay, for the audience who does know, these cases were all happening around the same time, and they were ironically, or not ironically, I guess, all major moguls that were worth close to billions, if not some of them were billionaires. That a lot of this stuff got swept under the rug by legal officials and were not pulled up until in the last 5 years or so. So
is it because of the Cosby situation?
I don't think so, because Cosby had accusers come out much earlier.
Okay, let's be honest on this.
And Cosby, okay, after the 90s, Cosby didn't have as much pull as he had. In the 80s and 90s, he was big. But after the 90s, he really didn't have as much pull as he used to have.
Okay.
Yes.
But I just feel like this just,
I mean, look at the R. Kelly situation too. There's another one. And Kelly and Diddy actually hung out. There's a music video they did together because somebody posted a picture of it. So were some of these people hanging out together and seeing what other people were doing, and we're like, oh, I could get away with that too.
So you saying some of them was followers and not leaders?
I mean, perhaps.
Okay. Well, let's just continue to follow the story and see what happens. I mean, if it stay hush hush and quiet, you already know what time it is. He paid other people off to just sweep it under the rug so he could go and live his little lavish life without getting in further trouble.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you're seeing a lot more. If you notice, you're seeing a lot more civil cases come out of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like we did a couple weeks ago, the Dwight Howard. That was a civil case. That was not a criminal case. That was a civil case. One man suing another man.
Right.
So is the criminal system adept to be able to handle this kind of stuff?
They can handle it, but I guess I think a lot of people just, hey, run me some cheese and this gonna be all over with and be done with it. That way it won't blow up as big as some other cases do blow up. I just feel like some just want to get it over with. Maybe the celebrities who's being accused just want to get it over with, and so they can move on with life. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion.
That's something to think about. Okay.
Right.
All right. So it is Thanksgiving, and I'm sure all of you are just chowing down on food and watching football and hanging out with family and having a good time. But tomorrow is the real big day, Black Friday. And we decided to do a little checking on some Black Friday deals. And James, what do we have for some of the discounts? Can you go over what items we checked and what prices we saw?
did go over. We went we checked out Best Buy,
Mhm.
Amazon, and Walmart, 3 major companies, correct? And Anthony and myself tried to pick out things that we know people will buy, which is a laptop, the PlayStation 5 bundle, and what other things. So when I
A
went
TV.
on Best Buy for a 55-inch Samsung, Best Buy $539.99 on sale, Walmart for $499.99,
Mhm.
and Amazon it came up to $649.95.
Oh,
So that
okay.
just was the 55-inch Samsung TV. So
Right.
then I did a
Popular
little
model.
more research on the PlayStation 5 bundle with the Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 3.
Yes. Okay.
So with that being said, Walmart had it for $559.99.
Okay.
Amazon had it for $600, and then Walmart had it for $529.95. So
Okay.
what I'm
So
thinking is people have to take the time out, do the research to save a buck or two, or a buck or three, or a buck or four,
okay.
to get the best deal that's out there. Because starting maybe the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, they already say, okay, Black Friday deals going on right now. So I just think they have to shop around, do a little digging, and
Okay.
seeing what's best for them and what they want or willing to spend on these items.
Okay. I'm also looking for a new computer. Did you look up any computer prices there?
Yeah, the laptop, which was
Yes.
the HP.
Okay.
Because I think the laptop HP in the touchscreen 14-inch,
Okay.
with Best Buy it was $500. Walmart had it for $649,
Okay.
and Amazon had it for $629. So it looked
Wow.
like,
Best Buy has got some good deals there.
yeah,
Sounds like.
I like Best Buy. I think when I go in there, I like the customer service. They greet you well. And they will spend that one-on-one time with you to give you exactly what you are looking for. I'm not a big electronics person. I'm just gonna go in there and buy a TV, hang the TV on the wall, and I'm okay. Someone like yourself, y'all like y'all love TVs, y'all love gadgets and all that. I don't be stunned TVs half of the time. Um, Laptop, if I have to use one at home, I will, but I be on a computer a lot at work, so I'll be stunned at foolishness.
Mhm.
I definitely don't care about a PlayStation 5. You know, I get one for my son if I necessarily have to, but that's a
Wow.
huge Christmas gift that I'm not trying to purchase. So it is what it is. So um with
And
that
another
being
thing
said,
with Best Buy, this is actually going to be the last Christmas season. They're going to be selling physical DVDs and Blu-rays, is what
what
I've
time
heard.
they need to get
So,
rid of that anyway.
no,
Who is still hooking up DVDs and Blu-rays?
I watch DVDs and Blu-rays because I don't want to pay for all that streaming stuff.
Child,
It's a much better experience.
let it go, because they're gonna eventually get rid of all that anyway. Let's keep it real, because we going into the new technology, and we all got to get on board, get on the train, and let it go, Anthony. I know
Mhm.
you. Let it go. Anybody got time for no Blu-ray, no DVD, none of that. Go ahead.
They still sell vinyl records, and I have a few people that say it's the best sound you're ever going to hear.
Okay,
A real
and that
vinyl
may be
record.
so.
So,
That may be so. That may be
dude,
so. Um,
Best Buy may not be selling DVDs and Blu-rays anymore, but they'll still be available in certain other areas that you may have to go searching for. I still find it's a good experience. You don't have to pay for the streaming. You can watch it whenever you want to watch it, and you can watch it over and over and over. Yeah, you can
okay.
still do that with streaming, but then you're paying monthly for that. And if you don't watch anything else on it, it's not really worth the value.
I mean, I guess
So
it's for those that willing to take the time out to go and buy the DVDs and all that craziness. I ain't got time for that. Just let it be. Um,
but some good deals out there. Like he says, shop around, check the prices. I know a lot of people will be checking their smartphones for all the pricing on everything. If you have the apps, there are some better deals. I think Best Buy is starting something where you buy into it and you'll get a better price, become a club
okay.
member. Amazon has Prime. Walmart, I think, is trying to do something like that. They have a special deal where you buy into it and you get free shipping for stuff. So that might even get you a better discount on some of these prices. But do shop around and see what you can find. And if you see anything better or something that's more popular, post in the comments. We'll talk about it next week.
That's right. So, did you cook anything for Thanksgiving? That's what I want to know.
I'm doing a simple Thanksgiving. It's just me this year. Just turkey breast, some fixings, and that's it. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, that's
oh,
good to know.
what's on your menu for
My
Thanksgiving?
menu, I have to cook collard greens with smoked meat, different kind of smoked meat. I have to do a seafood mac and cheese. I have to do red velvet cupcakes. And that's what I'm cooking. Amongst
Mm-hmm.
other stuff, I got a huge family, so they all cooking something, a different dish, and then we're gonna just all come together today and do what we need to do. So yeah,
All right.
I mean it's fun. Sometimes I just don't be wanting to get in the kitchen, but I will this time and let it be that. It's Thanksgiving. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go out tomorrow for the fiesta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or do I want to wait Monday to go online? I don't know yet. So I got to see how that play out, and see how I'm feeling. Because I do like to get out there and be nosy, and I love to shop anyways. But
Mm-hmm.
we gonna see. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know, and we will let anybody know that wants to know what me and you did today for Thanksgiving and tomorrow
Okay.
for Black Friday. So we'll see.
Yes. Post any good deals. Post any food you're gonna make. Go ahead, throw it in the comments. Let us
I'm
know.
telling you.
Maybe there's something we'll try next year
Yeah,
or
and let
something.
us know if you could
Yeah.
throw down in the kitchen. I definitely want to know that. And let's see what, like Anthony said, post some pics. Let us see what you cook. Let us be the eyes on it and see, what we think about it.
There we go from there.
All right, all right. So what's next on the agenda for tonight?
So it's the holidays. You're gonna see family, and I was trying to find a family story that I just couldn't find, but I did ponder and find myself on an article here that was in the New York Post that was stating, "Are traditional relationships over? Some signs to look for." But when I clicked on it, the article disappeared. So apparently everything's disappearing now. But let's go down that road and let's see what we think about this kind of stuff. If the traditional relationship is disappearing, what do you think a modern relationship is going to look like?
I think this modern relationship is basically, now this is just my little bit of opinion. That's it. I think a modern relationship is, you know, a lot of people, I'm not saying all, is looking for someone to go 50-50 on the bills. You still have those that, hey, the dominant one pay the mortgage or the rent, and then I pay the little light bill, the little cable bill or internet bill, and our phone bills. So I mean, it all depends on the two individual. I just think the way back when relationships, I think it almost out the door when the man take care of the whole entire household and the female get to do whatever they want to do with the monies. But and I just think again, the prices of living and buying and all that good stuff plays a big factor into it, because rent and mortgage is sky high. You know, a 1 bedroom is the same price as a 2-3 bedroom now, and that which is crazy to me. You know, out here where I stay, even though it's 900 square feet, 1 bedroom, but they do want 1,300 a month for it. And 900 square feet is a nice size 1 bedroom, but I think that's the problem in relationships. Stuff is so expensive to take two almost to pay the bills. So people can still, go on vacation, buy certain things that they like. What you think?
So modern relationships, I think, are getting transformed into situationships where you're not so much doing it because you want to do it, you're doing it because you have to do it. And like you said, the prices on a lot of stuff has kept going up. And even though it's not going up as much as it was a year ago, which the
Right.
inflation rate shows us, it was 7% last year, it's 3.2% this year. But it's still going up for these prices on everything. So what you're finding, and I've seen a few articles with this, is that people are simply saying, I just need to get with someone because I need somebody to pay half my rent because I can't afford it anymore. So I'm going to get with that person just because it's convenient. And I think we're seeing those type of modern relationships pop up a lot more. And you're not seeing so much of a, well, I think I'm going to get married to this person. You're seeing more of, let's live a few years together and see how this goes. And then a couple of years go by and they decide, it's going well enough. Maybe we don't need to get married. So the modern relationship is slowly morphing into something else. And I would actually even say some of it's morphing back into the traditional relationship, but without the traditional values of the relationship. You have women now who are actually coming out, and I've experienced this now a couple times, who had built a family, built a business, did it for a while, are now in their later 30s, 40s, and 50s, who are saying, I don't want to do this anymore like this. They want to give up their business. They want someone to come in and take care of them so they can have more time to do other things, or if their children are younger, deal with their children. So my question is, because you said you're seeing more 50-50, what happens when it's not 50-50? Or when someone doesn't want to do 50-50?
Okay, so I know there are people out there that don't want to do 50-50. They want more of a 90-10 or
90-10,
yeah,
yes.
or 80-30. And that's fine. I just think it all depends on the two people that's in this relationship. If that's what they want to agree upon, by all means, go ahead. If the man want to take care of the majority of the bill, that's fine. He's been a true man. And I have nothing against that, at all. But I just feel like, you don't want to put a crutch or make a crutch out of someone. And then when you can't continue to do it, now they're looking at you crazy. Long as the woman know, hey, if I fall short or something happened or whatever, I need to know that you got my back. But if a man want to pay all the bills, pay all the bills. And the woman still could work and keep her little coins and stack her coins and bank her coins, however she want to do it. And that's between the two individuals. Me personally, I would take on the mortgage and then let the other individual pay the little petty bills, like the little light bill and the phone bills or whatever. But I just think it all depends on the two individuals and who making the most money and all that. So it's a lot of factors to me in the
Okay.
relationship to me. I don't
Okay.
know. What about you?
So, where do I see that?
Yeah.
I see it as you could fall into a couple different scenarios. You could fall into one where, okay, you want to have somebody pay for your bills, take care of you, you want more time to do other things, hobbies, children, whatever,
Uh-huh.
but yet you're not presenting enough to have somebody say, yes, I want to be with you and I'll pay all that stuff. So, what happens when you go on for years and you haven't found someone?
I think, okay, and they just gonna base it upon because you won't pay all the bills.
Because no one has stepped up and said, I'll pay your bills because they don't see that they are worth being with that person to pay all their bills.
Right, but nobody shouldn't go in thinking they worth somebody to pay all their bills. That means you are being lazy and you need to work. Because no one shouldn't depend on anyone these days and ages. This is just my little bit of opinion. Again, I'm not finna go to an individual and say, you need to pay all my bills. No, I'm gonna work. But if you decide to pay all the bills, plus one, plus two for me. And I get to save and, but still spoil the individual or buy the individual, whatever the case may be. But I just think no one should go in thinking somebody should pay all their bills. Because if they thinking that way, then something wrong with them.
Okay. I'm gonna give my take on that.
Okay,
If
go
you
right
if
ahead.
you if you've gone 10 years with this plan, you're gonna meet other people. And it could be any type of relationship. You're gonna go into this thinking, I'm gonna meet somebody else, they're gonna pay for all my bills. If you're not showing that you can also put something in, this is never gonna work. And I think if you go 10, 15 years of trying to put yourself out there for somebody else and it doesn't come along, I think you seriously need to change the parameters of what you're working with. You can change attitude, you can change physicality, you can change mentality, and get yourself into it. Otherwise, you're just going to end up paying your bills for the rest of your life. That's on you. Now,
Well, I'm not going to take care of nobody. First and foremost, I'm not taking care of nobody. Now, if you want to be with me, I want to be with you. Let's talk about this thing. But you're going to pay something.
okay. So
You're going to pay something.
I'm going to run another scenario.
Okay, what's the second scenario?
Let's say you are the individual, and it could be male or female, who says, no, I want to take care of everything. I've been burnt in the past. I don't feel like having somebody move in and start paying half, and then they don't, and then I got to figure it all out. So I'm just going to take care of everything. Now, what happens if that person goes along, introduces themselves to other people, and doesn't get any response of, well, yeah, I want you to take care of me. They just get a, well, why are you going to pay for everything? That doesn't seem right. Should they change their perspective on it, or should they assume they'll find somebody eventually?
I just assume you'll find someone eventually because you don't want to rush into something because to me, you're not going to always be in a relationship or be married. Something going to come along. And I mean, there are the old school that's done been married 20, 30, 40 years. And I really applaud them for that. But it was not a easy journey for them. Now, don't think it was all peaches and cream because they done been married 20, 30, 40 years. They just hung in there. They had trials and tribulations and hurdles and all that they had to jump to make it work and make it through it. And kudos to them. Me, I'm not going to tolerate a lot. And I'm very easy to get along, and I don't ask of much in a relationship. As long as you don't cheat, I'm fine. But I know you're different from me. I'm not paying all the bills. I know you will. And I'm surprised a female haven't jumped in your lap already because some looking for that. I'm just saying that they shouldn't just depend on someone just paying all their bill because to me it's just a crutch for them.
Well, like I've said, I have seen these occurrences come to me,
Okay.
where individuals presented themselves, said, I like what you're doing. Here's what my bills are for the month.
Uh-huh.
But then when I look at them and I say, well, what can you present to me? They don't really have a whole lot, or they have what I don't want. So that's
Okay.
why that situation can sometimes backfire on you when you come at somebody and say, well, this is what I'm looking for, but you're not presenting anything to make it worth it.
That's why I say it's so tricky nowadays. You have those that won't work hard and make it happen. Some just being lazy and don't care and want someone to take care of them. See, I don't want nobody that want me to take care of them because now you being the lazy one, I don't need no lazy individual because I'm not going to get up 6 o'clock every morning, prepare myself for work, got to go to work while you laying in bed twiggling your toes and watching TV and doing whatever you're doing throughout the day while I'm at work. I don't think so.
Okay, so we're going a lot into monetary statuses with everything. Now, what do you think about these new relationships where they're open relationships or poly, or basically one individual or both individuals are able to sleep with other people and have relationships with other people?
That's
Do you
foolery.
see that as a continuing on of a relationship and an evolution, or do you see it not coming
Oh,
to be
okay.
anything?
Okay, this just me. I don't have time for the foolishness. With you do your thing, I do my thing. We get another individual and all this foolishness and carry on. I just think if I love you enough to just be with you and you only. To each his own. Once again, you
Mhm.
know, it is if whatever floats your boat, get in the boat and go on in the boat. That's just not my type of boat. I just need to be me and that significant other. That's it. That's all. If you even bring it up, let's just go on, say our goodbyes, because apparently you're not happy and scoot to the loo, my darling. So, because I'm not going to tolerate that. Just don't even bring it up, because it's a major problem if you bring it up. But to each his own. Whatever floats your boat, get on in the boat, tread the water, do what you want to do with the water. And hey, if y'all happy, you're happy. If y'all like it, I love it. It's not for me. I just can't do that. I just can't do it because I've been around other individuals, decided to bring that third individual. Now the third individual done took one of them from one another, and the other one mad and all that. Well, you shouldn't have did it. You shouldn't have introduced it. You shouldn't have brung it and all that foolishness. So I'm staying away from it. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, I have seen it happen with friends, and I used to tell them, don't do it because I can't get into details, but of what actually happened.
Right.
But it's just not for everybody.
Right.
And there's some people that really, really like that craziness. I'm just saying me. Little old me, I'm not with it. I can't tolerate it, and I'm not going to tolerate it.
Interesting. Okay.
But it just float with it. These days and age, different strokes for different folks. So I guess it all depends on the mood of the two individuals and what they got going on and what they like in life. It may work for them. I'm just saying it ain't gonna work for me.
Okay.
That's it. What about you?
I think it works in the situationships. When you have individuals who are simply just hooking up because it's financially better for the two of them to be together, and I've seen that before. I think in those type of situationships, an open relationship works because you necessarily may not even have really strong feelings towards the other person. So you're able to detach yourself from the original relationship and you're able to interact in a totally separate relationship. Uh, so you get a little from this side and a little from that side, and you kind of complete your necessity of a relationship from that. The problem is when someone's trying to trick somebody else to be in these poly or open relationships. And I think that's the problem that pops up. So if you're in a marriage and or a serious committed relationship, what happens is one person will approach the other person and ask, hey, would you like to be in this? And I think a lot of times the the problem is they've probably lost feelings or maybe even completely fallen out with that other person.
Okay.
So rather than try to break up the relationship, they want the convenience of being with that person, but also being able to have sex with somebody else.
No, if they done fell out of love or fell out of feelings, just fall out the relationship. Don't
But
drag it on and
sometimes
all
people
that.
don't want to hurt other people,
Well,
so
you
they
got to
tend
hurt
to
them.
stay in the relationship.
You got to. Because don't sit here and pretend that you still love me or got feelings for me, and you don't. I'd rather for you to be the individual and say, hey, I need to talk to you and tell me how you feel. Mm-hmm. And I just got to man up and say, okay, I respect that. Let's just go end it. We still gonna be friends. And you're gonna move on with life. Ain't no sense of doing all that extra foolery for no reason, just to make me know. Tell me how you feel. If it's no longer working, it's no longer working. And let's just go end it. And I respect you more, and we move on with life.
Well, I'm glad you're a lot stronger than most of these other people, but I have seen situations where this happens where, rather than breaking it up, they simply just decide, let's go just meet other people and go from there. Sometimes there's assets in place that are trying to get divvied up, but you don't want to be with that person. So you just stay in the situationship that you're in till it gets settled, and then you go date somebody else and go sleep with somebody else.
So assets are not. Let's just go and solve all this foolishness and end it. And let's just be done. I'm gonna go and cry. I'm gonna boo-hoo. I'm gonna tell my best friend this is what happened. I'm hurt. I'm finna come where you at for a couple of days, make me laugh, get out my, little couple of little days. But no, I'm just gonna go and cry it out. I'm gonna be hurt anyways, so we're just gonna hurt. I'm a little poor heart. Let's just let me go through it, and eventually I get out of it. But I'd rather go through that than having someone pretending that they still want to be with me and all that. I ain't got time for all that. I don't know.
So when you fall out of love with someone, you tell them right away.
You're going to tell them because to me, that's the best thing to do. That way, that individual won't be around here walking around talking about, oh, he loved me, oh, she loved me, he loved me. And it's a whole fabrication. No. It is what it is. And we have to be an adult and just go ahead on and tell it. And I know you don't want to hurt the other individual feelings because we tend to hold back because we don't want to hurt them. But it got to come out no matter what. It got to be said no matter what. And I just think you got to be an adult, say it, and it is what it is. And the individual would respect you more. Well, me.
So,
But anywho. All right.
Some interesting takes on that one. Feel free to rewind and go watch that again if you didn't catch all that.
Right.
So we're going to start wrapping up. We've had a wonderful time on this Thanksgiving. We want to wish everyone a happy, safe one. If you're traveling, be safe out there. It's a little crazy out there. I want to close up first with just let's remember why we're doing Thanksgiving. It was during the autumn of 1621 where at least 90 Wampanoag Native Americans joined 52 English settlers at what is now Plymouth, Massachusetts, to mark a successful harvest. It is remembered as the first Thanksgiving, although no one actually used the term Thanksgiving back then. It was just sort of, we made it through the harshest times that we had, and we come together to be thankful we're still alive. So if you got nothing else to be thankful you're still alive and you're still listening to this show, because we'll help you out through stuff.
Right.
James, any quote of the night?
I think you just put it well. Quote of the night: be thankful for being alive. Be thankful that you're not laying in a grave. Be thankful for family that love you or friends that love you. Be thankful for the little things that you have, because always remember, other people don't have what you have. Those are struggling for a meal. Those are struggling to have what you have. So just be thankful, most of all, for being alive, and be thankful that you have someone you can lean on or talk to. And man, Anthony, greatly appreciate each and every one for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. Like Anthony said, be safe out there. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of deals out there. Take your time so you won't be wasting money. And, have a great weekend.
Yes. We'll see everybody next Thursday live on our channels. 2 Men in a Room on Rumble and YouTube. And everyone, have a great night.
Yes, and don't forget, Anthony and myself, we love you for free, and good night.
Good.